Hello, and welcome to another instalment of Lore of the Cards, the series that looks to reveal the lore hidden inside your Hearthstone deck. Last time we looked at the Azure Drake, who turned out to be the son of the legendary Malagos, and I used the word draconian incorrectly. Sorry about that. This time I put the vote to you, and will again later. Thrall's mighty Doomhammer lost out to Gul'dan's demon rabble. We will be taking a short look at each of the Warlock's demons, except the Pit Lord, who we have already covered in depth. We will be looking at general information on each demon, their place in the world of Warcraft, and, if there are any characters of note from each species. There are a lot of artists involved with creating the demon cards, so rather than go over them individually, I've put any links I could find to their websites and which works they are responsible for in the description below. Demons in the Warcraft universe originate from a realm known as the Twisted Nether, a chaotic plane of existence, often theorised to be a sort of dimensional net that connects all of the worlds that can be found in the mortal plane. Some speculate that it may be the energies found in the Nether that create existence. It is also thought that when people die, their souls go to the Twisted Nether, with a few exceptions. In World of Warcraft there are several quests where the player must die to enter the Nether, and when running back to their corpse, if the player is to look up into the sky, they will be met with a swirling vortex. Practitioners of teleportation spells actually send themselves or the subject of their spells through the Twisted Nether to appear at another place in the world. It is only demons that truly understand the Twisted Nether and how to bend its energies to their will. As a species, the immortal demons feed upon magic and life, delighting in spreading pain and suffering wherever they can. They are creatures that have been infused with fel energy, a destructive magic school that may only be created through means of sacrifice. If another being is infused with enough fel energy, they too can become a demon. Most demons are affiliated with the Burning Legion, led by the corrupted titan Sargeras. The Titans seek to bring order and peace to the universe. Sargeras used to be the race's champion, slaying and imprisoning many demons in the Twisted Nether. After thousands of years of combat, Sargeras lost faith in the Titan's goals and created the Burning Legion, leading the demons he had once fought to wipe from existence. The Burning Legion seeks to undo the Titan's work, bringing chaos and destruction to the universe. We will start with the lesser of the Warlock's demons, the Imps. The first demon that any aspiring Warlock learns to control is these tiny horned creatures. These frail demons are easy to defeat, but can add quite a potent kick to a Warlock's offensive potential, hurling fireballs at their master's adversaries and aiding the Warlock with their characteristic sharp intellect. The Flame Imp is clearly inspired by the Imp's one and only attack, whereas the Blood Imp's buff to other minions derives from the Blood Pact ability that used to be in WoW. When an Imp was active, it would boost both the Warlock and their party's HP. This ability was removed in the Mists of Pandaria expansion. Imps are mischievous tricksters. For instance, the imp Pucelin in the Dire Maul dungeon of Warcraft steals a book containing orders for the ogre Dagthol. The brutish ogre enlists the help of adventurers to get this book back for him. Rather than fight or just give the book back, Pucelin runs off with blistering speed, taunting the party and leading them on a chase through the perils of Dire Maul. When caught, Pucelin gets nasty, empowering himself and calling for friends to try and kill the adventurers. Fel Imps are more powerful variations of Imps and are most commonly found in the broken world of Outland and the Twisted Nether. It was a Fel Imp named Impsy that revealed the Imp's greatest weakness to the heroes of Azeroth: the power of rainbows. Imps flee in fear at the sight of one. The imposing Voidwalker is not actually a demon, but in both Hearthstone and WoW it is classified as one for gameplay reasons. They are beings made up completely of shadow energy. Voidwalkers that are not connected to a Warlock most commonly belong to a faction called the Void, led by the immense Void Lord, Dimensius, the All-Devouring. Under Dimensius' rule, the Void laid waste to the homeworld of the ethereal race, denizens of the Twisted Nether with a love for collecting and trading. Ethereals will always look out for themselves and stop at nothing to achieve their aims, one of these aims being vengeance on the Void. When in the service of a Warlock, Voidwalkers distract their master's would-be attacker, getting them to focus their attacks on it instead. The Voidwalker's touch alone is what taunts their adversary, inspiring misery and blinding them to all other threats. Their touch brings out their victims' most painful memories, and all they can do is try to destroy the source of this anguish, a characteristic that has been realised in Hearthstone as the taunt mechanic. Like elementals, when summoned to Azeroth, Voidwalkers gain a set of magical bracers, which keep and tie them to the world they have been formed in. If the Voidwalker loses the bracers, they are inadvertently returned to the Twisted Nether. The Voidwalkers of Outland, a part of the Twisted Nether, do not wear these bracers, as they are not required to keep them bound to that plane. There are many types of Voidwalker. When first introduced in Warcraft 3, they appeared as jagged, spindly apparitions, and in World of Warcraft changed to the more rounded form Hearthstone players are familiar with. Voidcallers are spell-casting variants. The Void Wraiths are similar to the Warcraft 3 version, having long, slender bodies but tower over most of their adversaries. Void Lords like Dimensius are the armour-clad leaders of the race, constantly feeding on magic and life. The final, most powerful type of Voidwalker is the Void God. There has been only one appearance of a true Void God in the World of Warcraft, Entropius. This swirling horror appears when the Naru Muru transforms into him, giving possible evidence that the Naru transform into Void Gods upon death. The Naru are a noble race of sentient energy beings with a deep connection to the force known as the Holy Light, which is also wielded most commonly by priests and paladins. Moving on to the sexy Succubus. Well, sexy if you're into cloven hooves. The Succubi belong to the Syad race, which is also thought to include incubi. The incubus has never been used in Warcraft games, and there are a few rumours as to why that may be. The most prevalent theories are as follows. The spell to summon them has been lost or forgotten by both denizens of Azeroth and the forces of the Burning Legion. The incubi are the slaves on their home planet and are restricted to it, or lastly, the succubi themselves consumed their male counterparts when they were brought into the Burning Legion. Alternatively, this gruesome act may have caught the attention of the Legion in the first place. When working for the Legion, the succubi will tend to be the army's intelligence agents. Like all demons, the succubus revels in mortal suffering, but, unlike most, will toy with their victims rather than taking a direct route. Succubi are able to magically bewitch and beguile their victims, the mortal falling uncontrollably in love with the demon, and unable to strike the succubus. If impressed by the power of a warlock, a succubus will also use their charm magic to aid their master as well. The succubus in Hearthstone does not possess the charming trait like in lore, probably because this would make it too mechanically similar to a lot of cards in the priest deck. The brutish felguard belong to a demonic race called the Moarg. The tiny Gan'arg that belong to the race are the main engineers of the Burning Legion, effectively filling the roles that the gnomes and goblins do for the Alliance and Horde. The Gan'arg, though stunted in their growth, possess a keen intellect and a fascination with creating new inventions to further their aims. The Moarg mother race also possess a brilliant intellect, but are far more imposing than the Gan'arg. The Moarg, despite their physical strength, look to enhance their bodies through synthetic parts, such as arms with buzzsaws attached, turning a difficult adversary into a truly horrifying opponent. The felguard Moarg make up the infantry of the Burning Legion. These foot soldiers tower over most mortal races, ranging between 6 to 8 feet tall, some even bigger. They will take orders from greater demons, such as doomguards and pitlords, and are frequently used by these demons to vent their frustration if a combat situation is not going to plan. And the felguard will often be sent in as cannon fodder. Felguards are the perfect soldiers for their demon or warlock masters, obedient and well disciplined out of combat, but in the heat of battle unwavering and savage. In large armies, felguards will split up to force their way through as many of the opponent's soldiers as possible. Splitting their power may sound like a mistake, but as soon as a felguard finds a weakness in the enemy's lines, the others will converge to exploit it. Targaman the Hungerer was thought to lead the Searing Blade, an organisation that used to reside under the Horde capital of Orgrimmar, corrupting the citizens through Targaman's demonic influence. Targaman actually acted as bait to lure young Horde adventurers to their deaths, the Orc Jurgosh and the Satyr Bazalan actually leading the Searing Blade cult. The misshapen void terrors sadly have very little lore associated with them at the moment. All that is known about these two-headed demons is that they possess a nearly unlimited source of demonic energy, a fact elegantly displayed in Hearthstone with their unique consumption effect. Prior to the Burning Crusade expansion, there was only one void terror in WoW, Imulthar, who is found in Dire Maul. Imulthar was imprisoned by a group of Night Elven Highborn, the race's disgraced nobility. The elves siphoned Imulthar's energy, which granted them immortality. When Imulthar finally made his escape, he was not kind to his captors. These beasts became a more common sight to players when they ventured to the world of Outland, and powerful void terrors could be found in the Sunwell Plateau raid. The relentless Doomguard belonged to the Ered Ruin race. The Doomguards used to be slaves to the Titans, acting as guard dogs. Their mission was to police the use of arcane magic, a volatile school that exploits the instability of the universe. While not quite as potent as the corrupting fel magic, arcane magic does also slowly corrupt its users, aging them before their time and often causing its wielder to become arrogant, losing all traces of modesty. It is also addictive. It is most likely due to this corrupting nature as to why the Titans thought the magic's use should be policed. When Sargeras created the Legion, he freed the Doomguards, using them as shock troopers and enforcers in the army. The Doomguards were first seen in Azeroth during the War of the Ancients, a war fought between the Legion and several Azerothian races. The Doomguards would fly above their demon brethren, monitoring the tide of battle, correcting the mistakes of the foot soldiers with a quick lash of pain. Doomguards acted as the personal escort for Archimonde, one of Sargeras' most powerful commanders, and Archimonde was considered their leader, until he met his end during the Burning Legion's second invasion of Azeroth. While the Doomguards are still part of the Legion, they now lack a clear leader. The more powerful among their race are referred to as Doomlords. A notable Doomguard was called Azinoth, though he is a different racial variant, a Terror Guard. These winged creatures at a basic level are similar to other Doomguards. However, they possess two faces, one where you would expect, and one on their torso. It is unknown as to which is the real head. Azinoth was a Doomguard commander who was slain by Illidan's Stormrage during the War of the Ancients. Upon killing Azinoth, Illidan took the demon's weapons, two glaives referred to as the twin blades of Azinoth. Illidan learnt to wield these blades with great skill, and they were his weapon of choice right up until players killed him in the Black Temple raid, and had a small chance to wield these legendary weapons for themselves. When summoned by a Warlock in the World of Warcraft, a Doomguard is a timed summon, fading away after a short period. During this time, they perform single target focused damage. This focused attack is portrayed well with the charge mechanic in Hearthstone. Our penultimate card is the Blazing Infernal. Again, like the Voidwalkers, Infernals are not technically demons. They are constructs. Their creation is credited to the Moarg and Gan'arg demons. Infernals can be called upon by warlocks and summoned en masse by powerful commanders of the Burning Legion. Archimonde was able to summon a massive amount at once. They fall to the earth as searing meteorites from the Twisted Nether. The mass of flaming boulders are temporary, eventually collapsing and their burning energy dissipating. However, in this short time span, the Infernals have been known to level entire cities. A summoned Infernal is called upon to do only one thing: destroy everything in its path. While they are extremely apt at this, the Infernal itself lacks intelligence and can barely take orders. The Death Forge in Shadowmoon Valley provides insight into how Infernals are made, or at least the variety that can be found within the area. They are made using an elemental called the Infernal Soul, which is bound to a collection of felstone by the Moarg and the Gan'arg engineers. This creates a weak variety of Infernal. There is also another Infernal variety called Abyssals, very similar to the Infernal but made of more jagged material. In World of Warcraft, the summoned Infernal charges into battle, causing large amounts of area effect damage. Again, this has been portrayed well in Hearthstone, as the uncontrollable Infernal deals a single damage to all characters with its battle cry. Finally, we come to the Warlock's legendary
Jaraxxus, Eredar Lord of the Burning Legion.
Sadly, Jaraxxus himself has next to no lore. He is the second raid boss in the Trial of the Crusader instance in World of Warcraft. This raid was released during the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, just before players stormed Icecrown Citadel to fight the Lich King himself. The lore context of the raid was that the paladin, Tyrion Fordring, was gathering heroes of both the Horde and Alliance and testing their skills within the arena to make sure only Azeroth's mightiest heroes went to challenge one of the most powerful beings seen in the world's history. One of these tests was Lord Jaraxxus. The gnome warlock Wilfred Fizzlebang summoned Jaraxxus through a portal while attempting to summon a doomguard. The gnome tried to make Jaraxxus obey his commands, but instead was quickly murdered by the Demon Lord, who then turned his attention to the heroes in the arena, who were able to defeat him. Jaraxxus' murdering ways are quite well displayed in Hearthstone too, as summoning him technically means the death of the warlock who has called upon the card's power. The Eredar, the race to which Jaraxxus belongs, are split into two factions: the Draenei, led by Prophet Velen, and the demonic Man'ari, led by Kil'Jaden and Archimonde, until he died. This split in the race occurred when Sargeras visited the Eredar's homeworld of Argus. The corrupted Titan approached the race's three elders, Velen, Kil'Jaden, and Archimonde, in the guise of a benevolent being. Sargeras promised the three leaders great power that would help them create a universal union amongst all races. What Sargeras was actually offering was to turn the race into demons. Sargeras wanted to bring the Eredar into his fold firstly because he needed to bolster the ranks of the Legion to spread their unmitigated chaos, and he was also impressed by the Eredar's magical affinity. Kil'Jaden and Archimonde accepted Sargeras' offer and were transformed into Man'ari. Velen, however, saw through Sargeras' ploy and fled with those who would follow him. They renamed themselves the Draenei, which means exiled ones in their mother tongue. But the full tale of Velen and the Draenei is another story for another day. There are still many demons that have not yet been added to Hearthstone, such as the Fellhound, Observers, Shivara and the Nathrezim, known as Dreadlords. There are many prominent Nathrezim, so when one is added to the game, I'll make sure to dedicate an entire episode to this demonic race. Until that time, I hope that this episode has given you an insight to each of the Warlock's demons' origins and a little more info as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you've seen and want to see more, like and subscribe. A share would also be really appreciated. For the next episode, I leave the choice in your hands. We'll go back to focusing on a single subject in depth, but you have 3 cards from which to choose. The Sunwalker, Armani Berserker, or Millhouse Mana Storm. Let me know which you prefer in the comments below. I'll also put a poll on our Facebook page. And I also read the Reddit posts to get an idea of what options to offer and which you want next. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.